Wait.
No, you don't have to do this.
I love you. I love you. I can't.
So I assume that the woman we'll be covering today thought that that would be the way things panned out for her, but alas, no. Martin Henderson is a star in Netflix's Virgin River, which is so funny because they've named a river after me. Netflix, sponsor me! Going under the pseudonym of Leah, or Lee, L-E-A, not really sure how you pronounce it, but a 47-year-old woman was an active member of a Virgin River fan page on the oh-so-wonderful platform of, you guessed it, Facebook, when out of the blue, she received a message from someone special.
William Choi was an agent of his that had mentioned that I had made comments or something that was kind of, nice regarding the new season of Virgin River.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works. Otherwise, Jessie J fan pages would see me, the final form of a fan, just all over them pages, doing that, like a spider with its prey. I'm just all over it. Everywhere.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But then it gets worse.
And had wanted us to make contact with each other, so we were set up into like a Google Chats room, and then we just started to talk casual about different things like our hobbies and interests.
So the agent has not only decided to become Cupid and embark on some kind of matchmaking escapade, but has also kind of jeopardized the safety of Martin Henderson, because you don't know who this woman is, and you're doing up matchmaking. That sounds like a very true crime documentary waiting to happen. And look, granted, you don't really know people that you meet in person as well, all right? You are both in the library and your hands touch as you both reach for the same book. It's a meet cute, it's a Hallmark movie if I've ever seen one. And you don't know this person. Yeah, I get that. However, I don't think an agent is going to be setting up their client with a regular schmegular civilian, all right? Let alone scouring fan pages online and picking out some sort of raffle. You've won the love of the celebrity. No. The commonalities between Leah and Martin Henderson is, as you can see at the bottom, they both liked food, I guess, but also she related to his military character in the show. And I'm not surprised to hear that the commonalities between them are so basic. A lot of these catfish romance scam stories between the two lovebirds, there lacks a depth that we would normally see in a real relationship. There's just nothing personal about it, There is, we both like burgers, you must love me then. But that's just not how it works, okay? Don't get me wrong. Interests between two people, sure, they can bring you together. But that can't be the only thing. Like, these victims never mention anything personality-wise. And considering the fact that relationships should be more than you both loving a bit of ice cream at 6 p.m. on a Friday night, we'll touch on the financial abuse aspect of this particular story a bit later on, which I don't know how you're sweeping under the rug, because you both love spinach or something. Also, I just want to touch on the fact that she related to the character he plays in the show, the military character, not actually him. Yeah, all right, you got the food and stuff, whatever. But he's not actually a military person in the past, It's the character that you've kind of fallen in love with here. And let's also not forget the element of greed, because a lot of these stories do play on the fact that victims can be greedy. You've got the potential, in quotations, to be with a celebrity, so you've pounced on it. You can try and swindle me. Oh, we both love scoffing on a biscuit. Yeah, but that's not gonna cut it here, Leah.
So that's kind of like how we started. That's how the relationship started. Very casual.
Maybe a bit too casual. Now, I don't know if the dating game nowadays still has this rule, but I would hope people are being asked if they want to be in a relationship before people start thinking they are in one. Hey, Leah, do you want to be my girlfriend? Oh, yes, baby. I'd love that. And so on and so forth. Like, I'd hope that is the case. But I just want to emphasize that if a celebrity apparently asks you such a thing, no, it's not real, okay? Draw the line in the sand, be an ostrich, put your head in the sand, because that ain't happening. Leah and Martin decided that it was a good idea to do a virtual meet and greet because it was around Martin's birthday. He was in New Zealand, she was in the US, and she was unable to afford to fly over there. So, you know, the next best thing is to Zoom each other, I guess. Editing H here, it's been a while, hasn't it? But I figured I'd interject here because I'm not too sure if she means she couldn't afford the flight or she couldn't afford a meet and greet with him and has to settle for a virtual meet and greet, because that's how these things work when you can't afford to meet a celebrity who is supposed to be your lover at this particular point, by the way, and you're doing meet and greets. That's weird and cringe. But I'll play the clip, so maybe you guys can let me know what in the hell she actually means, because I'm still a bit confused if she's talking about flights or the meet and greet. I don't know.
I had suggested we do like a meet and greet, and I wasn't able to come up with the money. It was like $3,000, and I wasn't able to have that much by that time. I was only able to have half, and so we weren't able to meet then, but they certainly got half of my money.
Shock horror, after many attempts at trying to meet up, it didn't happen.
We've attempted many times to try to meet with each other. He's tried to reach out with me through voice messages, FaceTime, and then, you know, where I thought was genuine attempts. And then I would, you know, succumb to his needs for whatever he needed.
AI makes another unfortunate appearance on this channel as the voice messages that she received, and I'm 99.9% sure that the FaceTime call was as well. They're AI generated, but that's not what's important. What's important is, what did Martin need? Alright, over the space of 2 years, among the purchases the woman made on Henderson's behalf were $10,000 for a prison bailout, $12,000 in gift cards, 25 MacBooks to set up a new business, several $5,000 Bitcoin transfers, $56,000 on fake invoices for shipping a box of valuables that didn't actually exist, and chartering a private jet out of South Africa to the tune of $30,000. Anything else? Whilst nothing from 2025 was available, it's estimated in 2022 that Martin's net worth is $6 million. Alright, so I've got to ask questions about why Leah is not asking, why am I spunking so much on someone who can very much afford these things? Gosh, it's so much money that I can't even pronounce afford properly.
So, I mean, there was just different ways, something where he needed something, some kind of help, some kind of assistance somewhere, somehow, and it kind of started to accumulate the financial part of it.
Regarding the prison bailout, I'd love to know why he went to prison and why we're doing some kind of prison break shenanigans here. Why was nothing reported, huh? I guarantee you, TMZ would be there in New Zealand watching through the prison windows or something like that. I don't know, they got good sources or something. They'd be there. They'd cover the fact he went to prison before he even was arrested. Gift cards, cool. I mean, all of these stories seem to involve gift cards in one way or another. $12,000 worth of gift cards, though. What are you buying? 25 MacBooks to start a business? What is the business here? Are you selling the MacBooks? Is that what's happening here?
Mr. Krabs, I am so confused.
And as always, please recognize the fact that you are being asked to pay for someone else's business, their job. No, unless I'm getting some kind of commission out of this, which often is the case. You know, the scammer will tell you, you will get paid X, Y, Z amount, or I'll pay you back. No. Bitcoin transfers, again, pretty usual. The shipment of a box, which I guarantee has a gold bar in it or something, that's also pretty common. But then you get to the private jet aspect, and I'm asking a question here because she can't afford to fly over to New Zealand to see him. But she has money to send for a private jet? Does any of this make sense, everyone? Because I'm really conflicted here. But also, you know, considering she couldn't fly over, can't the private jet take her to him? I don't understand anything that's going on. She actually does bring up the regular, degular, schmegular civilian aspect, which is great to hear. But then, just like the dubious amounts of moolah, she just flushes it down the toilet.
Most people with his celebrity status and my very simple person status was so much, it was kind of like an unbelievable thing, like that could never happen, having a relationship cross tracks, I suppose. And, you know, I didn't think that myself, but I'm like, he's a human being like I am, and he justified that. I'm a human being like you are.
Now, see, I actually agree. Celebrities are humans, just like us. Shock horror. I never put them on pedestals because they make mistakes just like us. But then I draw the line at this so-called, you know, we're both humans, so actually there's a chance we could be together. No. Yes, you're both humans. Yes, I personally don't put celebs on pedestals. But I kind of am gonna put them on a pedestal here in saying that they live very different lives to us. Very rich lives, alright? It's very rare, and maybe even 100% never gonna happen, that a celebrity will want to romantically be involved with a regular degular in today's society. Because I do know back in the day, like rock stars and stuff, you know, they'd do a madness and whatnot with fans and all that. But nowadays, I'm not too sure, and I can't speak for any celebrity out there, right? But I'm not sure they would want to either. And I don't even think this is exclusive to celebrities. Anyone with a high status job, I'd attribute this to, you know? Just be aware, because any 4-star generals knocking about in your DMs is probably fake.
Everyone who I would try to trust, or, you know, like my son or, you know, any other family member close by, would react to more of a protective state and go to Google and see these things and all this old information about, you know, his dog and his being married to somebody else and relationships and things, and which was just garbage and trash on Google.
I think her saying this highlights just how addicting this love can be to the victims who conjure up this fantasy. Perhaps the information on Google is old and it's outdated, just like the net worth. You know, the only information they have on that really, reportedly, is from 2022. But if the people around you, as close to you as your son, for example, are going out of their way to research your potential partner, I feel like there's a strong reason that they're doing that. I always say, what's the worst that can happen if you don't follow through with this relationship? You lose the love of your life? No! Because if they were really the love of your life, you would have met them a long time ago, and your rich partner wouldn't be squeezing every penny out of your ass.
However, recently, over the weekend, when he was supposed to arrive here, he claims he's had a heart attack on the way to the airport and in Africa, coming back to Auckland, so he was never able to make his flight, which I did pay for.
Oh, sugar and spice and everything nice. Mr. Martin, are you okay? Isn't it crazy that the catfishes always end up devastatingly hurt. Something always happens to them. What kind of love is this? It's painful. Gosh, I wouldn't want love like this. I'd think I'm a bad luck charm or something. Also, we spoke earlier about the private jet. Where's it gone in this instance? Why is he now taking a commercial flight? Because then I asked the question, why did he need a private jet before? If he was able to just use commercial flights, why not just take them then? The straw that finally broke the camel's back is when Leah's friend sent her an article about Martin that stated he was elsewhere when actually he was saying he was over there, lying basically about where he is. You naughty Mr. Martin, aren't you?
Seeing how he was in the news February 1st on the weekend, that he was at a bike rally, kind of was the final straw for me, saying you're here, but yet how quickly you can recover from a heart attack is kind of unthinkable.
As you do, you have a heart attack and then you go do a bike rally. I think we can all agree on that. I'm glad she finally realized and someone was able to break through to her. But I really urge everyone to recognize red flags before you even send money, because $375,000 is ludicrous, bro. What do you mean, once again, you couldn't afford to fly over to New Zealand, but you've got this much money to spunk over? I don't even want to imagine what was going on behind the scenes, right? If she borrowed this money from someone else, if she dipped into savings, etc. I just find, I can't fathom the logistics here, that you can't afford a flight, but can afford all this. How much is a flight from the US to New Zealand, bro? Surely it's not $375,001. Now, usually in these catfish romance scam stories, the partner in question has a frozen bank account and whatnot, which I understand. You can't pay for things. You really want to transfer bitcoins? You can't do it because your bank account's frozen or something along those lines. But surely a celebrity is going to have rich friends or family to fall back on, and not some random person that's been plucked from a fan page. I know it's been 2 years, but I just want to say this joke. You've known him for the amount of time it takes to brew a coffee. A cup of coffee. You wake up and you smell the coffee, Leah, alright? And I can't lie, if a cup of coffee is taking you 2 years to brew, you might need a new coffee machine. Now, I left this particular part out until this particular moment, because I just need you to understand how flabbergasted I am at this. She even moved to New Zealand.
What? Why? Why?
The whole thing about not being able to afford the flight and all, it's gone. I don't understand any of this, alright? I'm just as confused as you probably are. Maybe you're not confused, so please let me know how she's done this. Is it the private jet that she's hired? Was it genuine and she got on it? I don't know. But in a more generalized sense, okay? Please actually don't move to a country just because your potential lover might live there, alright? We're not talking about celebrities right now. I'm talking about real life relationships. Maybe you've spoken to someone, you've met them through, I was going to say Tinder, but surely you can change the settings of locations on Tinder. I wouldn't recommend dating that far apart on Tinder, but I do know you can meet someone or virtually across the world, so it does happen. But, don't move country until you actually know that this person is for you. Now, I couldn't find anything to say what she did in New Zealand, or, if she's still in New Zealand right now. But I'd probably assume not, right? Someone must have flown her back at some point. But when she got there, and she still didn't meet with Martin Henderson, surely that would have been the final straw. I can't imagine flying somewhere and I've come to see someone and they just don't care to come and see me. Oh my goodness, do you want me to cry? AAP fact checked actually found that on Facebook alone, there are hundreds of Martin Hendersons just floating about, and the page transparency details of the accounts reveal they are run from all over the world, with many listed as being operated from Nigeria. One particular post on a fake account reads, "At this point, I have to post this here. My lovely fans, I lost one of my house in Los Angeles, California because of the fire. ... Breakdown, I'm in pain, fans. Your warm messages will really help me." Why do you have to post that on Facebook, Mr. Martin number 2? Why do you have to do such thing? So someone actually did respond to that post, and Mr. Martin number 2 decided to dive even further into the depths of what the smokes is going on here. "Thank you for your care. You can send me direct message. Your warm message will really help me." Not to defecate in your cereal, fake Virgin River Donny, but how does a direct message help you any more than what the public message would? Obviously, this is to get you into a more private setting, right? So that they can bombard you with all sort of love bombing messages. But just recognize that this is really weird. You don't often send condolences to someone, for example, and then they reply to you saying, "Hey, could you say the exact same thing, but in a private message, please?" Because reasons. Just be aware, no celebrity is literally begging you to jump in their DMs. It gets even more foolish, and it's sad that, some people will still fall for something like this. In the comments on some posts, multiple fake Henderson accounts compete for the attention of female users. Now, first of all, we're not in a medical setting here, right? If you guys know me, can we not say female? Just say women, bro. What is the need to drop such medical terms? But anyway, going back to what I just said, some people will fall for this, and it's really sad. You're watching so many fake Mr. Hendersons, right? Mr. Martins, sorry, how dare I say Mr. Henderson. You're watching them battle it out in the comment section like some eHarmony Coliseum, right? And you're thinking, yeah, this is great, they're fighting for my love. You know someone is thinking that, by the way. Meta come back into the fold. Meta pointed AAP fact check to a recent online post about how to protect against romance scams on social media. In particular, the company said to be cautious with new contacts, to verify identities, and to be skeptical of declarations of love if you have never met. Now, whilst that's admirable, Meta, how good of you guys. Nice. I do think social media platforms in general should do more in terms of combating these fake accounts, because what do you mean there are hundreds of fake accounts of one celebrity getting through the system? And just so we're clear before we start wrapping things up, right, Martin himself has literally stated that he only has one social media account, and that is a verified Instagram account. So just be aware of that, but also be aware, which is so convoluted in today's social media society, right? You can actually buy a verified mark. So just in case you do see someone with a verified check mark, still question things, all right? As soon as money gets involved, run away. That's a huge red flag. But also, how stupid of me. If a celebrity, verified or not, reaches out to you, just take it with a pinch of salt, all right? Now, hopefully you guys have learned something, and that's the fact that Mr. Virgin River isn't going to be out there prowling across the waters, the interweb waters, to try and find a lover. Which, bear with me, because I actually didn't check if he actually has a partner, so I'll be back. Okay, so the interwebs are basically telling me absolutely nothing. I don't know if he actually has a partner or not right now, but that's besides the point. It's a celebrity, they're not going to reach out to you, and be aware that most of these scammers often say that, oh yeah, we're just going through a divorce right now, we're going through a rough patch, XYZ, so they'll try and spin the story to swindle you anyway. So just stop falling in love with celebrities. How about that? I'll see you guys next time. And if you do obviously have $375,000 spare, then send it my way. Bye. I actually watch Virgin River now because it's about me swimming, I guess.